Hi, I'm Sally Galloway. I'm a mindset and confidence coach for singers, and sometimes my cat Pickles is going to be in the video. Hi. Today we are going to be talking about performance anxiety. What is it? A lot of people say they have it, or that they get anxious, or they have stage fright. They get nervous when they get on stage, but what actually are we talking about? Apparently Pickles does not have this problem at all, right? So, performance anxiety. Let's talk about, first of all, what is it? It is your body's physiological response to a threat. You've probably heard of the fight or flight symptoms. Well, recently there was a third added to that. It's now fight, flight, or freeze. So what do these actually mean? Fight means your body is geared up to a response, to a reaction. If you're going on stage, creates extra saliva or dry mouth, maybe your heart is racing, your hands get cold. My nose used to get really cold. Your pulse goes up, your ears start ringing, your eyes dilate. All of those are possible. How does that happen in the body? Well, when we perceive a threat, our brain sends a signal to the hormones to say, get ready for whatever's next. And depending on how we are wired, that's going to show up as either fight, meaning fight back. It's hilarious. Fight back, which could cause some anger and some irritability. It could be flight, which is the impulse to run away, to flee the stage, to get away from whatever it is that's bothering us. So the blood goes to the outside of the body. It shunts from the middle of the body, from the digestive system, and moves out to the extremities to get ready for running. If you've ever had butterflies in your stomach, that's what that is. That feeling of is the blood leaving the center of the body and moving to the outside extremity so you can get out of a dangerous situation. And then the last one is freeze. Freeze is when you go numb, or when you stop, or when you can't think. Freeze is holding still, hoping the bear does not see you so that you can stay safe. Any little bit of movement will belie your presence and might cause and call attention to you. So those are the three different ways that performance anxiety can show up, those threats. How does this affect us as singers? I'm going to talk about 4 different ways. First of all, physiologically, then mentally, emotionally, and then a bonus, 4th type. What happens physiologically? Well, I mentioned this before. Physiologically, what happens in the body is your heart starts racing to pump blood to the parts of your body to get it ready to respond to a threat. So your heart rate goes up, your pulse goes up, your eyes dilate so that you can see better. You may get a little ringing in your ears or a little tuning into what is going on in your environment. Your knees might shake, your voice might shake. I get a little twitch in my mouth when my mouth is open. If you do that, if that happens to you, put that in the comments. I want to make sure that I am not alone and that I'm talking to my people here. And then mentally, what happens? Mentally, we start thinking about all kinds of things that probably do not support us in having the performance we want. Sometimes we go numb. Sometimes we can't think of anything at all. Have you ever said to yourself, what's the first word? What's the song we're singing? What comes next? What am I supposed to do? Have you ever lost your place? You've lost focus, or you don't remember something you have done a gazillion times. But in the moment when you are affected by these fight, flight, freeze chemicals, it just goes out the window. You open your mouth to sing and nothing happens. So mentally, our brain can take us into the future oh no, what's coming? Here comes that key change that sometimes I get and sometimes I don't, or sometimes the guy behind me or the person next to me on the riser, sometimes they get it and sometimes they don't, and how is that going to affect me? And what happens if the lights go out, or what happens if I can't hear? When you have your attention focused in the future, you're not in the present. If you have your mind focused on, I missed that key change. I missed that word. I didn't hit that note the way I wanted to. My throat's closing up. I don't like the way I sound. When your mind is going all over the place, it means you're not present in the moment and you're missing out on the opportunity. How that affects us as singers is sometimes we walk off stage and we don't even remember the performance. Has that ever happened to you? Okay, emotionally, what happens to singers? Well, we get caught up in the words and we can start having an emotional experience, or we get focused on what is happening inside us, our experience, and we become fearful or anxious or upset with ourselves. We lose compassion and interest and curiosity, and we make ourselves wrong, or we make the people around us wrong. So we can have an emotional experience in the moment, and that takes us away from the performance that we're wanting to give. On the other side of that spectrum, we can get so emotionally involved in the words or in the message that we are providing that we lose focus for staying grounded. We might even take ourselves to the edge of emotion and begin crying or laughing or feeling angry in the middle of a performance. Now, is that all bad? Not necessarily. I'm not saying that any of these are good or bad. I'm simply mentioning these as ways they can affect us as singers. If that's important to you and having that under control, knowing what's going to happen, I want to bring your attention to the concept of performance values. What is meaningful to you? And if you're curious about your why and what is meaningful to you when you go on stage, what drives you to perform and what for you creates a meaningful performance, you might want to do some work on your values and determining what your performance values are. I have a resource for you that will help you dig a little bit deeper into what's important to you. Just go to my website and look for the values worksheet, and that will help you get really in touch with the things that are meaningful to you.